Were you CEO when the FCC fined Verizon $46.9 billion because you shared location data of your customers with third parties?
I am not now and have never been the CEO of Verizon, but I'm familiar.
Were you general counsel?
I was not in my current role, but I'm familiar with the matter you're talking about.
Yeah. Were you general counsel of Verizon when Verizon had to pay $30 million in ERISA litigation for cheating their own employees?
Senator, I have some familiarity with that matter. I was not in my current role.
Thought you might. Were you general counsel of Verizon when you guys and gals implemented racial quotas in hiring?
Senator, I'm not quite sure what you're talking about.
Yes,
I do disagree with
yes,
the
you do.
suggestion that.
Yes, you do. You know perfectly well what I'm talking about, counsel. Were you general counsel of Verizon when Verizon implemented quotas in hiring based on gender?
What you just watched is why moments like this matter. Senator John Kennedy came prepared, focused, and ready to hold someone accountable. From the very first question, John Kennedy made it clear this was not going to be one of those comfortable hearings where executives dodge questions and walk away untouched. When a company as powerful as Verizon sends someone other than the CEO, the United States Senate deserves real answers. John Kennedy made sure of that. Welcome back to Congress Lens. I'm Audrey. In my opinion, this is what real oversight looks like. John Kennedy was sharp, direct, and persistent. When the answers started sounding vague, he didn't let it slide. He tightened the questions. That is exactly what should happen when someone is testifying under oath. If you believe corporate executives should give clear answers when called before the Senate, hit the like button. Subscribe to Congress Lens for more real reactions to what is happening inside these hearings. Let's get into it.
Mr. Miller, you're the general counsel of Verizon, is that right?
Of our consumer group, Senator.
Who is your CEO?
Dan Schulman is the CEO.
Could you get
of
close
Verizon.
to the mic, please?
Dan Schulman is
Why
the
isn't
CEO.
he
of
here
Verizon.
today?
Senator, I understood that you wanted a legal department representative here.
No, we invited him. Why didn't he come?
Senator, that was my understanding is that you were looking for legal department testimony.
Well, does he know you're here?
Yes, Senator.
Huh. Is he too tired? Is he too busy to come?
Absolutely not. Mr. Schulman is very focused on finding the right solutions for the committee.
I can
and
tell.
We've been talking about
Does
it.
he not respect the United States Senate?
He absolutely respects the United States Senate.
Maybe he's tired. Could he be tired? I looked up his salary last year. He made $71 million. Maybe he's been up all night counting his money and he's tired. Could that be it?
No, Senator. Mr. Schulman has only recently been appointed the CEO of Verizon.
Were you general counsel when Verizon had to pay $93.5 million because it cheated the taxpayers of this country by charging on invoices to the GSA?
Senator, can you say a little bit more? I'm not.
You don't remember that?
I'm not familiar. I'm sure
okay.
familiar with what you're talking about.
Were you CEO when the FCC fined Verizon $46.9 billion because you shared location data of your customers with third parties?
I am not now and have never been the CEO of Verizon, but I'm familiar.
Were you general counsel?
I was not in my current role, but I'm familiar with the matter you're talking about.
Yeah. Were you general counsel of Verizon when Verizon had to pay $30 million in ERISA litigation for cheating their own employees?
Senator, I have some familiarity with that matter. I was not in my current role.
Thought you might. Were you general counsel of Verizon when you guys and gals implemented racial quotas in hiring?
Senator, I'm not quite sure what you're talking about.
Yes,
I do disagree with
yes,
the
you do.
suggestion that.
Yes, you do. You know perfectly well what I'm talking about, counsel. Were you general counsel of Verizon when Verizon implemented quotas in hiring based on gender?
Senator, I'm not aware of Verizon ever implementing quotas
Sure you are.
in hiring
That's
based on
illegal,
gender.
isn't it? You know it's illegal, don't you?
I understand it's illegal, Senator, and I'm not aware of Verizon ever having done that.
Yeah, well, you took con law?
I did, Senator.
Okay, were you in the Frisbee, or in the quad playing Frisbee during the part about you can't discriminate against people on the basis of race and gender?
Senator, I'm well aware you cannot discriminate on the basis of race or
Okay.
Gender.
Were you
To my knowledge, Verizon has never
Were you
done
general counsel when you required all your employees to go to classes based on, to teach them about critical race theory, including, quote, systemic racism, white fragility, and intersectionality?
that. Senator, that has never happened.
Yes, I did. You're under oath, counsel.
After watching the full exchange, here's my honest take. John Kennedy tapped into something that frustrates a lot of Americans. When a CEO makes $71 million and does not show up to testify, people are going to ask questions. When Kennedy asked why Dan Schulman was not there, that was not just sarcasm. It was about responsibility. If leadership respects the Senate, leadership shows up. It is that simple. Instead, Verizon sent General Counsel Mr. Miller, who repeatedly said he was not familiar with certain matters or was not in his current role at the time. That might be technically accurate, but it does not inspire confidence. It creates distance. It feels like insulation. When Kennedy brought up the $93.5 million settlement involving overcharging the government, that was serious. Taxpayer money is not abstract. That is real money from real people. Then Kennedy referenced the FCC fine over sharing customer location data. That is a major trust issue. Privacy matters. What stood out to me is that Kennedy stayed focused on accountability. When the conversation shifted to alleged hiring quotas based on race or gender, Kennedy made it clear that discrimination is illegal. That is not a political opinion. That is basic constitutional law. Then came the moment about critical race theory training. Whether someone supports or opposes that type of training, the key point was honesty under oath. When Kennedy said, "You're under oath, counsel," it was a reminder that this is not casual conversation. This is sworn testimony. Some people may say John Kennedy was too tough. I disagree. Powerful corporations should face tough questions. Verizon is one of the largest telecommunications companies in the country. With that level of influence comes serious responsibility. Kennedy did not rely on dramatic speeches. He relied on documented settlements, fines, and legal principles. He asked direct questions and pushed for direct answers. When the responses drifted, he pulled them back. That is oversight. This exchange was not about theatrics. It was about reminding corporate America that appearing before the Senate is not symbolic. It is constitutional. It is serious. And it demands preparation and honesty. Let me know what you think in the comments. Was John Kennedy too tough, or was this exactly the kind of pressure executives should face? This is Audrey with Congress Lens. I'll see you in the next one.